Okay, hello everyone. My name is Berns Galang or Berns Berry. That's my illustrator name, and I am so happy to welcome you to our show. And if you have spent time with an animal or love them, I think this is for you because today we're going to be talking about animal communication and how to connect with our beloved furry companions. And so I am honored to bring you our guest, Karen Anderson. She is an award winning animal communication expert and pet loss specialist. She has over 24 years of experience helping clients struggle with pet loss, and she also offers animal communication courses and is actively involved in animal rescue and fostering. So, hi, Karen.
Hello, Berns. Thanks so much for having me here.
Happy to have you here in our show. Would you like to tell us more about yourself?
Oh my goodness. Well, you did a really good job there. I think everyone who loves their pet or who has a pet that they've lost over the years, they're near and dear to our hearts, and they're our best friends. And I truly believe that they make us better human beings. I think that they add so much richness to our lives. And my goal when I set out so many years ago was just to understand my own pets better. I just wanted to know them on a higher level, a more spiritual level. So I wanted to be able to understand their thoughts and their feelings. I mean, who wouldn't want to know what's going on in those fuzzy little heads, right?
Right, yeah.
So that's where my journey kind of started. As I got into it, I realized that I had a passion for helping those who are struggling with a loss. And I'd have a session, a pet communication session with them, and I could literally watch it as the messages were coming through. I could see them start to heal just when they heard a certain message or maybe something that their animal shared with me during the session. I could literally feel the healing start to take place. And that to me is so amazing. So I've devoted my life to continuing this and to carry that forward and help other people learn how to communicate with their pets, and also to help the entrepreneurs who are like me that want to launch a business. I help them do that, build, create, launch a business. And I share everything I've learned, and I share all the mistakes I've made over the last 25 years, which there have been a lot. Lots of mistakes. We learn from those mistakes, but now it's just my passion. My whole world revolves around the animals.
Wonderful. And I think it's really a beautiful thing to take in your passion and the things that you learn from your own journey and extend that and help people. So that's very admirable. So can you share with us your journey on how did you become an animal communicator? And is this something that you consider that's coming from your higher self or a calling?
Well, my earliest memory, Berns, if I turn back the clock, my earliest memory is around 5 years old, maybe 6, right in there.
Very early.
I can remember having silly little conversations with my pets at home. Now, it wasn't anywhere near the level of communication that I would later have with animals, but still, for a 5-year-old or 6-year-old, I knew if they were happy, I knew if they were sad, I knew if if something hurt on them, or, if they didn't feel good. And I just thought everyone could do this. I didn't know that that was something that other people couldn't do. And I was very shocked as a child to find out that most people, including my parents, did not support this. They didn't know what to do with me coming up with information that a 5 or 6-year-old child should not know. So I was discouraged very early from really sharpening my skills and understanding how intuitive I was. So I learned to hide it, and I didn't tell anyone. And I kept everything to myself, all my communications. And eventually over time, as I grew older, it got kind of buried. And how sad is that, right? When I think back on it now, but that was the journey that I needed to take. And, I think of all the parents right now who might be watching, tuning in, going, my child has shown some pretty remarkable signs of being intuitive or getting messages or information from maybe a human loved one or maybe from their pets, and they don't know what to do with it. And my suggestion is, find out for yourself, contact someone like me or other psychics or mediums or animal communicators and just chat with us. We're here to help, we're here to guide, we want to share our experiences. And truly the best thing that you can do is to encourage your children and to help them understand that these are natural abilities that we all have. Everyone is born with the ability to connect with other energies, to connect with animals, to commune with nature, to connect with your higher self, angels, to your creator, your God, your goddess, whoever you believe in. We all have those abilities, but we learn over time to cover them up, and we stop using those skills. And I think parents should really support their children and just educate themselves about it. It's not evil, it's not bad, it's not scary. I never had a scary moment in my life. In fact, the only scary moments I ever had was dealing with real humans, real living humans. Never scary moments ever with communication. It's been just beautiful and amazing and incredible messages coming through and life-changing messages coming through. So I really hope that if someone is watching and they have a child that's showing those types of abilities, please encourage them. Please, please. And then much later, my story shifted gears. I became a deputy sheriff in the state of Colorado. And I had been practicing animal communication on the side. I didn't think I was any good at it, but I was practicing it on the side because of the love I felt for my own animals, and I just wanted to get to know them better. And I started to get messages from animals on crime scenes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So I did what you did. I went, what? This is crazy. And how can this be? I wasn't trying. I was not trying it. I just started getting messages. So I realized that I better pay attention, that this is something that I really needed to learn more about and to listen to. And that's where it all snowballed. It all started when I was in law enforcement. I know, it's crazy. It's some of the most powerful messages I got was when I was a deputy sheriff.
Oh, wow. So you have like assistant detectives right there. Yeah.
The four-legged kind, yes.
Yeah. So I guess if it's really in you, even from the start, no matter how much people have tried to discount this kind of gift, or because it's something that's commonly discounted by many, and I guess on your journey, it's really, you would really get there somewhere, even if it's, at first some people won't let you, but I guess all those contrasting experiences really leads us to where we need to be along the way. So that's a wonderful story, and I'm so happy that you got to discover that, and now you're helping a lot of people. And
it's wonderful. It's been a wonderful journey, and I've learned so much from the animals. They have taught me so much. And every session that I've conducted, I learned something new. And the animals blow me away as to what they know about us and about the world, and things that we wouldn't even think that they would know about. And it truly humbled me. We think as humans, we're so smart and intelligent and we have all this education. Well, some of us do, some of us don't. But we think we're the higher intelligent species.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, no human being has been able to teach me what the animals have taught me during these communication sessions.
I
So it's very humbling to be trusted by them, because animal communication is based on trust. You know, you wouldn't share your story with someone you didn't trust. If you didn't like someone, you're not going to share your story with them.
yes.
And the same is true with animals. So it's a lot about trust building and really just making the animals feel that they are important and that you're interested in them and that you want to share their messages. They need to know that. They need to feel that. You have to be very sincere and humble in your approach. It's not just kind of, I think some people have the impression that someone like me, an animal communicator, that we just walk around all day and talk to every animal that we see, and we just process that as if they were humans. And that's not the case at all. It takes focus, concentration, meditation, a quieting of the mind, because I have to get all of my thoughts out of my head. Because if I go into a session with preconceived ideas, that's going to affect the outcome of the message, because that's our ego side, our left brain, our ego side of the brain coming through. So I have to really suppress that so that I can be open to hearing what the animals share, and then just letting those messages flow without bias, without judgment, and just letting them be pure for what they are, without me putting a human spin on it or humanizing the animal. That's what my goal is, to never humanize the animal. My goal is to honor what they're sharing with me, what they're entrusting me to share, no matter how important or seemingly insignificant it may be. I share their message, because that one little message can be the one thing that their human mom or dad, I call you their moms and dads,
Yeah.
it may be the one thing that you need to hear to help you get through a devastating loss, or to heal, or to resolve a behavior problem, or to overcome a health issue. So I'm like a conduit. I just let the energy flow through me, the messages flow through me.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness for recordings, because if I didn't have a recording going, I wouldn't even remember what I said afterward, because it literally it doesn't stay with me. It just kind of flows right through me. So it's a really powerful experience. So we don't walk around, talking to the birds and, every single butterfly that goes by, or cat or dog. We don't do that, because that is so draining. You would have to be in the zone that whole time and be focused on that one particular animal so deeply. You really couldn't function or get anything else done or accomplished. So it's not like that.
I see. Sounds like it takes great focus, and it seems like it's purely pure vibrational energy, and just need to calibrate to that. So makes me think. How would you define animal communication? What is it really, and is this something that everyone can do, or something that everyone can tap into?
I used to say that everybody could, but I think there are just some people who are too close-minded. You have to be open-minded. You have to want it. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to believe that you can do this. It's just that simple. If you come into it thinking, this is all stupid or ridiculous or made up or it's not real, then you're going to struggle. You're going to have a really hard time. But if you come into it and you're open and you just say, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see what happens, and I accept whatever my journey is, and you don't try to control it. And those are the people who have the greatest success in learning. The ones that are too close-minded, or sometimes it might even be a belief system. They may be of religious background, or they may have a belief system that it's very controversial to them. and they will struggle more. So I think everyone has the ability within them, but can everybody learn? No, I think there's some people who just are too closed off. And the way I would define it, really simple. Here's a cell phone, right? How many of us walk around with cell phones now?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a cell phone, just about. So when you pick up your phone and you want to call someone or text someone, do you think about in your head how that phone is going to take in your text message and process it? And how is that phone going to send that message electronically, wirelessly to whomever you're texting? No, you don't do that. You just type in your message and you hit submit. And a wireless message, an energetic message, goes from you to them. Animal communication is exactly the same concept. It's an energetic message from you to the animal and back from the animal to you. There's all these waves around us, radio waves, electronic, wireless, Wi-Fi. They're around us. We can't see them. We can't really feel them, but we can see the end result because we get phone calls and text messages, right?
Right.
Well, animal communication is the same way. You can't really feel it. You can't hold it in your hand, but we can see the result of it because I'll get a message or an image of something and describe it to, if you're my client, I describe it to you and you would go, oh my gosh, that's my living room. How do you know what my living room looks like? Or that's, that's what I did yesterday. How do you know what I did yesterday? So that's how it works. It's literally from mind to mind, from animal to human, human to animal, and it's just a wireless transmission. That's all it is.
It's amazing. And I guess there's really something great in that willingness and openness to learn something and do something, especially something of that kind. And from an animal communicator perspective, how do you think pet parents can be the key to their beloved animals' happiness?
I'm sorry, how can they what?
How can be the key to their furry companions' happiness?
Oh, how can they be the key to their animal's happiness?
Yeah.
That is a great question. I think if I were to really consider what the animals have shared with me, the most important thing to remember is that our animal companions are very, very content with being in the present moment with us, but they also feel that we don't spend enough time with them. And I get a lot of messages from animals that say they're very lonely, or they miss their mom, or they miss their dad, the ones that are still alive, and they just want more time with us. So I think truly they want our attention, they want our affection, they want to be with us, they want to be near us. And if you would just be present with your animals, just start off a few minutes a day, and each day make it a little bit longer, and just carve out some time, special time for you and your animals. And I have quite a few here, and I give each one of them special attention, and I make sure that I carve out special time for them. That's truly what will make them the happiest. And I know there's going to be someone out there that says, well, I have a cat or a dog that doesn't, they go off by themselves and they really don't want to be around us. Okay, there's always going to be an exception to every rule. But generally speaking, if you're just present with them, if you give them your time, your focus, your energy, your attention, your love, say their name often. They love their nicknames. They absolutely love their nicknames. So if your cat's name is Fuzzy Bottom, call him Fuzzy Bottom because they really like that. So just be present with them, and be really sensitive to the fact that they are needing you. You are their entire world. You are everything to them. So if you leave and you go to work, or if you go run errands and they see you leaving, that can be traumatic to them, because in the animal kingdom, they don't leave each other. They generally stay together in groups or herds or packs. So just remember, they live within your home. They live within the walls of your home. You're their whole world. Their whole universe revolves around you. And you are their entertainment center. So be sure that you're giving them lots of things to do, lots of challenges. Don't let them get bored, and just love them.
Right. That actually hit home, hammered home, because I'm also guilty of sometimes um, when I'm too busy, I really can't give them enough time and play time. But I like what you said about being in the present moment, and it's really something that I am learning from them because they really are like that. They really know how to be in the now. So
Yes, indeed. They don't spend time worrying about tomorrow. They don't feel bad about what happened yesterday. They're in the moment. They're right here, right now. So just my challenge is that you carve out at least, the longer the better, but start out with 10 minutes of just one-on-one time doing whatever that animal wants to do. I have another challenge for you too. This is
okay.
something that I catch myself doing. I have an animal sanctuary, so I have a lot of animals here on the ranch. And I do this, it's kind of embarrassing to say it, but I'm just going to share it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I talk out loud to my animals, because I talk to them all the time, and I ask them something, I always ask it twice. I don't know why, but I catch myself doing this all the time. So I'll say, oh, who do you have there? There's somebody there. I can hear
Yes,
him.
my croissant. I think he wants to say something too. Yeah. He's actually my most opinionated kitty over here. Hey, baby.
Oh,
Oh, he doesn't like to be carried, actually. Okay.
gorgeous kitty.
He's
Gorgeous, gorgeous. What's his name?
full voice croissant.
Croissant. Oh, so cute. Okay, so
All right.
see, tell me if you do this.
Mhm.
I'll say, do you want to go outside? Oh, I have to be careful if I say that too loud. Do you want to go outside? And I'll say it again. You want to go outside? Or do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? I catch myself repeating. And the reason I caught myself is because my animals actually told me that I repeat myself. They told me that I say the same things. And I thought, no, I don't. And so I started paying attention, and I do it all the time. I don't know why. It's like it's just kind of a weird little habit thing I got into, but I just want to know how many people watching do the same thing I do. See if you can catch yourself repeating over and over again the same things. I don't know why we do that, but anyway, just weird little quirky thing there. So there's another challenge for you. See if you repeat yourself. You don't have to. They can get the information the first time. And believe me, they understand us. We're so easy for them to read. We're like an open book. They can read us very, very easily. Animals are some of the most sensitive creatures on the planet. So if you are not feeling well, they can sense that. If you're really happy, they can sense that. If you've been like sick and you're curled up in bed, and boy, they just want to get on you, right? They just want to like curl up next to you and cuddle with you. So, they really are sensitive to all of our emotions, and they tune into us a lot. They know what's going on. They tune us out a lot too.
Yes, they do. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Actually, something interesting happened just this morning before we start the interview. My cats were extra sweet to me this morning, and I see that as some sort of a blessing. I think they know what I'm about to do. So yeah, like Poson, for example, this morning he just cuddled with me just right after I woke up, and then I was conditioning my mind for this, and then the other kitties in the other room when I went there to I know to check on them. So one of them just really used his paw and tapped me in my leg and wanted to be carried. And they are sweeter than normal. I
And
think
see, that's so interesting, because the more that we focus when we are in alignment. So what I mean in alignment is when our thoughts, what we envision, what we say, and what we feel in our heart, when all of those are in alignment, they can really truly understand that we are so focused or thinking about them or talking about them or experiencing a memory with them. That alignment is really crucial in animal communication, because if something's out of alignment, if you're thinking one thing but you're visualizing something else, and I'll give you for instance, if you have a behavior problem in your home with some of your pets or one of your pets,
Mhm.
the biggest mistake you can make is to constantly focus on the problem. Let's say you have a litter box problem. Okay, somebody's not using the litter box. Every day you wake up, you think, oh, great, what am I going to find? Did this cat not use the litter box? Am I going to find, you know what, on the floor or in the corner or wherever they've been going? So what are you doing? You're saying this to yourself. So your thoughts are saying, you know, I'm going to find this mess. You're visualizing somebody not using the litter box. But in your heart, you want them to use the litter box, right? Because otherwise you get frustrated and upset. You're out of alignment.
Right.
That's not in alignment. And the animals get confused. Now you just made your behavior problem with your cat worse because you're confusing the cat. So make sure that you are thinking, feeling, seeing everything of what you want. So think about what it looks like Kitty using the box. Imagine, visualize what Kitty looks like in the box, being happy using the box. Say it out loud. When you say it out loud, you'll say the positive. Oh, good job using the litter box today. Oh, mommy's so happy when you use the litter box. And feel the love in your heart when Kitty uses the litter box. Now you're in alignment. So you can really improve your situation greatly just by getting those things in line and stop sending confusing messages to your pets. So try it, those of you who are watching.
Yeah, wonderful. The alignment really brings a lot of things in place. And yeah, focus on the problems, you get more of it. Focus on the solutions, you get more of it as well. Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. And yeah, just a little transition here. We've been talking about the being present and being in the moment and in the now. So good question. How do you think how do animals see and feel about transition or crossing the rainbow bridge?
Okay. And this is truly one of my specialties. I've been working with animals in the afterlife now for 25 years. And it is one of the most challenging parts of being a pet parent. It's one of the hardest parts of being a pet parent is when we have to say goodbye, or if a pet goes missing and we never know what happens to them, or we watch them slowly age and slowly succumb to an issue or disease or illness or whatever. It's one of the hardest times. So what I have learned is that no matter how long their life is, no matter how short their life is, when the animals make their transition out of body, they absolutely feel that they completed a successful journey with you. They don't see it as a bad thing if they only lived a year or 2 or 5 or 7 or 17. They don't base the happiness and the joy of their life on the number of years they walked on earth. They base their joy on the love that they feel from you and the quality of their life. So they experience absolute pure satisfaction of a journey completed when they leave their body, whether they die of cancer, kidney disease, esophageal matters, stomach issues, if they're hit by a car, if they've gone missing and you never find them and you assume that they're gone. When I connect with an animal, they always share with me that their journey is complete, they're satisfied with it, and they do not base that journey on, well, it was only 2 years, or I was only 7, or, I died when I was a kitten or a puppy. That's a human concept. Those are human thoughts. Those are not animal thoughts. Animals are complete and happy with their journey, and they never question how long they lived or how short they lived. Never. So to them, the journey is complete and they're happy with it. That was a hard one for me because I've lost some kittens, barely, didn't even have their eyes open yet. And, you feel like they got cheated, like you got cheated because you lose them so early or so young. And when you connect with them on the other side, they're like, no, I had a great life. It was wonderful. And there's no expression of missing out on anything. So that was a big one for me when I heard that. And it's all the animals. It's not just mine. It's not just a few. It's all the animals. They are perfectly content with their life, no matter how long, no matter how short. It doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, I agree. I can totally relate. And it almost feels like, excuse me, it almost feels like they have a sacred pact with us. Like from the start, they know, it's almost like they know better than us, and they know seemingly that when it's gonna end, it's like they've finished their journey and their purpose. And I actually had a cat who just transitioned just recently, and I was feeling so bad because he was too young. He was only just 3 years of age, and I wish I could have done more. And I don't really consider myself as a perfect pet parent, but um yeah, I consider his transition as something really life changing for me, because from that day, I actually had visions of creating something new and meaningful for animals at the time, and it broke my heart, and I was profoundly crushed by that, and I was also guilty. But I think the message was for me to keep faith with the vision, and it kind of fixed that vision, even if it broke my heart. So we really get
I'm
a lot of messages from them. I mean, I'm not an expert, and I'm not really sensitive when it comes to being spiritual and um, being sensitive to cats, what they think and what they feel. But that's what I'm getting from the recent experience I've had.
Well, I'm so sorry. I am truly sorry for your loss. And the one thing to keep in mind is that no matter when you lose them, if they live a full life with you, or if you only have them for 2 or 3 years, like what you had, the biggest thing that they want us to experience is to learn and grow from that. So once you are emotionally calm and emotionally balanced and you're not in that deep grief, look at the situation and say to yourself, okay, that was really painful, but what did I learn? What can I take away from this? So as I go forward, maybe I'll make a different choice, or maybe I'll do something differently, or maybe I'll try something different. So as long as you are learning and growing from each one of your experiences, that's why our animal companions are with us in our lifetime. They're here to help us learn and grow on a spiritual level. And Berns, you can agree with me on this. We do not learn as humans when everything is happy and joyful and perfect, do we?
Right.
No, we learn the most and we grow the most when we are in a very traumatic experience. That's when we start looking for answers. That's when we start going, why is this happening to me? What is going on here? I've never hurt this bad before in my whole life. And we start seeking more, something greater than ourselves. That's what we are here for. We're here for those experiences, not that we're here to experience trauma, but we're here to learn and grow on a spiritual level. And we simply don't grow as much on a spiritual level when everything's perfect. We're just cruising along, everything's perfect. When we hit trauma, that's when everything changes, and that's an opportunity for growth. So instead of seeing it as a punishment, because I have many people write to me and say, you know, I feel like I'm a bad parent. I feel like I made all the wrong choices. I feel like it's my fault. I feel like I killed them. You know, they're carrying all this guilt around with them. And truly, what I try to get them to see is, no, you're going through a very, very sad and painful, traumatic experience. Now is your opportunity to learn and grow from it and take that information and go forward. It's going to change you. You're never going to be the same again. But as long as you're taking something away from that traumatic experience, then it is purposeful and meaningful to you and your beloved pet.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just recently I came with a realization to take this loss, take this pain, and turn it into something beautiful. Since
Awesome.
yeah, and I think it's just fitting that since I'm an artist, I'm an illustrator. I guess it's just fitting that for me to turn this experience and life experience into something beautiful and meaningful, not just with a canvas, because I'm taking this like that. I mean, I'm approaching art and creating something new and beautiful, so why not take it, uh, pull that out and do the same with a life experiences that I've had. So no matter how painful it was, it's still going to be something that could turn out really good.
Powerful, and you take a negative, you turn it into a positive. And I actually encourage my clients to do something creative when they're grieving, you know, whether that be journaling, whether that be painting, drawing, even just walking in nature, spending time outside. I encourage my clients to try to tap into their creative side, because you can really express a lot of your grief and your pain when you do something creative. It's an outlet. It's somewhere for your emotions to go. If you don't have an outlet, they get bottled up inside you, and then you can experience something called unresolved grief. And unresolved grief is even worse than the first time you go through it, because you don't really go through it. You just kind of push it down and you don't express it. You don't go through all the different stages of grief, and it comes back again. And when it comes back, it'll hit you at the most unexpected moments. It'll come out of nowhere. You'll be fine, and then the next minute you'll be a mess and crying and just going like, what is wrong with me? You know, there must be something wrong with me, and it'll hurt even worse. That's because it builds. Unresolved grief will build and build and build. I'm not a grief expert. There's licensed professionals who can help you through those stages, but I've seen it happen over and over and over again. My clients who hold on to that grief and continually punish themselves or continually hold on to the negative and aren't willing to take those small little steps forward to move beyond the pain and through it to get to the healing on the other side, they will typically experience that unresolved grief. And it's not fun. It's actually compounded, and it can be even worse. So, you know, there's so many outlets now and opportunities for people to help online and Zooms and groups and supports and everything. So please, if you're experiencing that, anyone who's watching, please, I encourage you to find someone that can help you through that. And there is healing on the other side. You're never going to be the same again. Nobody can take your pain away, but you can get through that pain and get to a place on the other side where it won't be as raw, it won't be as sharp, it won't be as painful as what you're experiencing now.
Yeah. I guess grieving is really a process, and I guess it's also uh, just a matter of soothing yourself, feeling yourself into something that would feel a little better. Not exactly the bouncing off the wall enthusiasm in an instant, but there's a way to soothe your. There are always different ways to soothe yourself. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm just curious. When it comes to animals or yeah, pets who are nearly about to say goodbye, and do they give you signals when they're about to go, or do they give you that the look as a sign that they're
Oh
trying?
boy. Um, Berns, I would say some of them are really, really good at letting you know, and some of them hide it. Some of them, even with me, I mean, look what I do for a living. And I've had some animals just all of a sudden get really sick and leave. And I think, what? How did I miss that? Look what I do for a living. I must really be awful at what I do that I didn't even know my own pet had that issue. But let me just explain it to you this way. Animals are experts at covering up illness and disease because it's a survival tactic. It's a survival instinct. So imagine they're living their life. Humans are not in the picture. They've evolved over time, survival of the fittest, right?
Right.
So in like we'll take a pack of, or like a herd of wild horses. So you have this wild herd of horses out there. If one of the horses gets hurt or injured or is sick, guess what's going to happen? That herd is going to leave it behind. Why? Because the predators are going to come in and they're going to go after the weakest ones. So if they continue to hang around this sick herd member, they're putting the rest of the herd at risk. So they leave it behind, and the animal probably succumbs to its illness, its injury, or predation, or the elements, or whatever. That can be said in any group of animals. Usually, they will expel the animal, or the animal that's sick or injured will leave or go off by itself. So it's a survival technique. So in our homes, an animal will get really good, a cat or a dog usually will get really good at showing no sign that there's anything wrong because they're not trying to fool you, but it's just in them as instinct to cover up anything that might show you that, hey, we have a problem here. So you just have to be really diligent as a mom or dad, as a caretaker. You got to watch for those red flags or any kind of behavior that's different, anything they're doing out of their normal routine. I hear this so many times. I should have taken him to the vet sooner. Why didn't I take him to the vet sooner? I thought it was just being a quirky little thing. I should have taken him in if I'd have only taken him in sooner. So none of us want to pay a vet bill. I don't. But take them in, get the test run, at least get a full blood panel. A full blood panel will show you what's going on with their internal organs. It'll show you if they're fighting infection. It'll give the veterinarians at least a baseline of where your pet is so that you can monitor it going forward. So I think I'm guilty. I've done this. Nobody wants another vet bill, so we don't take them in right away. We kind of do this little wait and see. Oh, well, we'll just wait and see how he is. And then by the time we take him in, guess what? Now they're in crisis.
Yeah, sometimes they really just don't let you know. Even if you try to know, they just, yeah, I guess it's really also natural for them to be strong and to, because it's like they're putting their owners first than themselves, sort of like that. Because if they show that, I mean, of course, the pet parents will be worried. And yeah, I guess it's really so much to learn from them as well.
Yep.
All right. right. Next question. How do you feel when you help other people cope with the loss of a pet and teach them how to communicate with dearly departed pets or dearly not so departed, so to speak?
It is the best job in the world. It is the best experience ever because I get to be there when they get their first message, when they realize that they really can do this. And I can see their face lights up, their energy lights up, their heart opens up, and they go from this very sad, very, traumatized person to, oh my gosh, I just got a message. It's amazing. It's
Oh,
an
amazing.
incredible feeling. And I will admit, it is like, it's so addictive to help somebody move through that pain and to get them through that and on the other side of that pain. It really is powerful. And I made a promise to myself a long time ago that I was going to help as many people as I could learn how to connect with their pets, because we are spiritual beings. You and I, we're having a physical experience right now,
Right.
but we're spiritual beings, and we're all connected in the big wide world of the universe that we live in. So I'm actually doing this out of very selfish reasons, and I'll tell you why. If I put that energy out there, that love and concern that I have for my clients to help them, it's going to come back to me tenfold. All that goodness, all that love, all that wonderful positivity is going to come back to me because of the laws of attraction. Likes attract likes. So if I'm putting all of that beautiful energy out there to help somebody, I'm going to get all of that back again. So on a kind of selfish level, that's part of it. It soothes my soul. It helps me feel that I am making a difference in this world where there's so much bad news. You can't even watch any of the news come across anymore because it's just always horrifying what's going on in the world. So I feel like I'm a bright spot in people's lives, and I help them through a very tragic and traumatized event. And I help them see that, and I empower them to see that they have the ability to do what I do. And it's actually very easy. Once you know the basics, it's very easy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Sounds like the appropriate kind of selfishness is really sometimes it could be the higher form of selflessness, because you can give something that you don't have, and when you do something for others and it comes back to you, it's really not a matter of having that intention or that motive for things to turn out the way it should, right? Like it would favor you, but it's a byproduct of what you really want to
Yes.
do deep in your heart. So,
Yes. And just to show you how easy this is,
uh-huh.
everyone who's watching right now, and you too, Berns, I want you right now, I'm going to do this little thing just to show you how easy this is. I
Exciting.
want you to imagine a big red Valentine heart. So just imagine a big, beautiful, red, bright red Valentine heart. And it could be like, three-dimensional, however you want to picture that heart. Now you're looking at me on the screen, but I'll bet you can visualize a Valentine heart, correct?
Right. Yes.
Then you can communicate with animals. That image of that heart is what a message will look like and feel like from an animal. Your eyes are open, you're looking at me, you're listening to me, but you can visualize that heart. That's what a message feels and looks like.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I
It's
might feel, oh,
that
wow.
simple. It's that simple.
Yeah. Simple yet very profound. Yeah. I really felt that, and it's a wow, it's a great exercise, and it's really not something visual, because it's also something emotional. I guess there's an energetic exchange as well when you
There
do
is.
these kinds of things.
There is.
Right. All right, so we're almost out of time here. Do you have any final thoughts, or is there something that you would like to leave our audience that you think is important for them to hear?
Absolutely. In all the years that I've been communicating with animals, there are three golden nuggets of wisdom that the animals have shared with me, and I want to share them with you and your viewers because I think it's so important. And these are based on my experiences. You know, other animal communicators may have a different experience, but this is what I have learned and what I have taken away. The first golden nugget that I want to share with you is that our pets never blame us when things go wrong, or if we didn't take them to the vet soon enough, or if we didn't get them the surgery, or if we didn't, if we let them outside and left the gate open. They don't blame us for those things. In fact, in all the years I've been communicating with animals, and I've logged over 22,000 communication sessions, not one single animal has ever come through to me and told me that their mom or dad was responsible, their human mom or dad was responsible for their passing. Not one. So for those of you that are carrying around any kind of guilt, let it go. Don't hold on to that anymore, because I promise you, it doesn't even come up in your pet's mind. So the next golden nugget of wisdom is that your departed pets are always near. They don't go away. They're not in another universe. They're not up in the clouds. They are always near. And it doesn't matter how many years ago it was. If it's a childhood pet, they're still with you. They're still near you because they love you, and those bonds of love never die. And there's nowhere else they'd rather be than with you. So just remember that. Say their name often, say their names out loud. They love it. And the last and final golden nugget that I want to leave with you tonight is make their life more important than their death. Celebrate the life you shared. When you focus only on how they died, you actually take away from them, and they can feel responsible for your pain. So just remember, when you feel love, they feel love. When you feel sorrow, they feel sorrow. Now, who would you want to hang around with the most if you're on the other side and you have a choice of what you're going to do with yourself? Do you want to hang around somebody that's happy and joyful all the time? Or do you want to hang around somebody who's sad and depressed and grieving all the time? Pretty obvious choice, right?
Right. Yeah.
So be sure you celebrate and honor how they lived their life and make that more important than how they died.
Yeah, I guess that's really the power of being in the now, in the present moment, and cherishing that. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. And to everyone who's listening, I hope that's something that you can carry with you through your own journeys. And yeah, and just really having a better and lovely life with your beloved pets. And Karen, if you have a free offer in mind, can you share it with our audience or share with them where they can find you?
Absolutely, I would love to. I have a bunch of free offers for my VIP members. So you just go to my website. It's KarenAnderson.net. You'll see a opt-in for VIP members. You'll get a welcome email, and in that welcome email, you will get your free offers as a VIP member. So I have a free pet loss app that you can download on your iPhone. It's called Pet Loss, Hope, and Healing. And in the app, there's all kinds of free content in there. There's free ebooks. There's 5 free lessons. There's so much in that app to help you on your journey through grief. And remember, they love you more than anything. Those bonds of love never die. Your pets will always be with you.
Beautiful. I love that. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this show has provided meaning for you. We've had a very special one, and I really love this conversation. And I also wish you so much love, and I wish you a lovely life with your pets and keeping them healthy and happy. So, thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much for your time and all your wisdom.
Thank you for having me.
All right then. Okay, everyone. See you around. I'll be posting the links to in our page, and I'll be sending you the updates. So thank you, and bye for now.